Welcome to The Versionist, a relatively educational web show in which we take a deeper look at various stages of the production and various versions of an episode of your favorite franchise. This time, let's talk about a classic Star Trek episode, The Enemy Within. I have done a quick thoughts on video on this episode a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not going to talk way too much about the story, but for those of you who don't know, it's basically a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of story. During a transporter accident, Captain Kirk gets split into two copies, one good but weak, and one who is strong but evil. And Mr. Spock together with Dr. McCoy have to find a way how to join him back together. There is also a B story, where the away team is stuck on a freezing planet because they are afraid to beam them back on the ship before they fix the transporter. The story outline was written by Richard Matheson, I have no clue how to pronounce it. This guy. On the 4th of April 1966, he wrote also the first draft teleplay on the 25th of April 1966. A revised teleplay was written by John D.F. Black on the 6th of June 1966, and the final draft teleplay by Gene Roddenberry on the 8th of June 1966. Several other additional revisions have been done between the 11th and the 15th of June of 1966 during the actual filming of the episode. The episode was filmed between the 14th of June and the 22nd of June 1966. The score was recorded on September the 14th, and the finished episode was aired on the 6th of October 1966. The original version of Matheson's story didn't have the Mr. Sulu B story. His whole story was only about Captain Kirk. He didn't even like the idea of adding a new subplot, but to be honest, I actually think it did help the episode. Also, the last two scenes of the first act were switched. In the script, they first learn about the sexual assault of Janice, and then find out that the transporter is creating duplicates. This was changed by the director Leo Pan, who was famous for reorganizing scenes for a better dramatic effect. Unfortunately, one bit was left out from the story in the script. McCoy at one point said that a part of the human condition was having an enemy within. You can see that the episode was shot very early. For example, Spock is being identified as Second Officer Spock. In later episodes he was the First Officer, and he remained to be the First Officer until Star Trek the Motion Picture, where he became the Science Officer. And of course he was promoted to Captain in Star Trek 2, but that's another story. The episode was released many times on home video, on basically all existing home video formats, on Betamax, VHS, Laserdisc, DVD, and later even HD DVD and of course Blu-ray. The Blu-ray release contains two versions. One of them has the original 1966 visual effects. The other version features completely new CGI effects. Let's talk briefly about the differences between these two versions. The episode starts with a shot of the Enterprise. The original version reused an effects shot from where no man has gone before, as you can see by the different warp nacelles, and it's actually flipped. The new version shows us a brand new CGI shot. This new shot actually fixes a continuity problem. The original version shows us the Enterprise approaching the planet, but the new version shows us the Enterprise where it is supposed to be, on the orbit of the planet. The next shot of the Enterprise orbiting the planet looks very similar in both versions, but the planet in the new version looks more realistic. The opening credits sequence has been redone. Everything is now CG, the starfield, the Enterprise, and the planets.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds.
At least they tried to match the look and feel of the original footage, which is a huge plus for me. The first shot after the credits shows us the Enterprise orbiting the planet in both versions, but for some reason in the CGI version the ship moves much faster, almost like it wants to leave the planet. The next shot has originally used another reused clip from Where No Man Has Gone Before, and again it creates a new continuity problem. The shot clearly shows the Enterprise leaving the planet. The new CGI version replaces it with a much more appropriate shot. Another shot which tries to faithfully replicate the look and feel of the original shot.
Something has happened to me. Somehow, in being duplicated, I have lost.
This following flyby shot has originally reused another shot from one of the pilots, and it has been replaced by a CGI shot in the new version. Well, at least the CGI shot looks very similar to the original version. This shot has been replaced by a CGI shot. For some reason this time they did not follow the original shot and replaced it with something completely different.
Negative self is under restraint in sickbay.
This is how Mr. Sulu heats up a rock using his phaser. This is how it looked in the storyboard. This scene started originally with another reused shot from one of the pilots. It was completely redone for the CGI version.
Captain Kirk.
This shot has been replaced by a new CGI shot, which at least looks very similar to the original shot. Even the last shot has originally used a reused shot from Where No Man Has Gone Before. The new CGI version looks quite different. Just a quick note, does anybody of my viewers have either a recording of the truncated syndicated version or a recording of the Sci-Fi Channel Special Edition for any of the Star Trek episodes? I would really like to have a copy so that I can compare the differences between these versions and the officially released versions. So please let me know if you do have something like that. And so which version do you prefer? Leave a comment down below, and if you like this type of videos, I will try to upload a new versionist episode each weekend. Thanks for watching and see you all next week.